It's morning again in America. Today, more men and women will go to work than ever before in our country's history. With interest rates at about half the record highs of 1980, nearly 2,000 families today will buy new homes, more than at any time in the past 4 years. This afternoon, 6,500 young men and women will be married. And with inflation at less than half of what it was just 4 years ago, they can look forward with confidence to the future. It's morning again in America. And under the leadership of President Reagan, our country is prouder and stronger and better. Why would we ever want to return to where we were less than 4 short years ago?
It's morning in America. Good morning. Rise and freedom. It is morning in America, and you're watching the Wake Up America show. I'm Austin Peterson. We're glad and thankful to have you here. Yeah. What's that smell like? It smells like freedom. Also smells like a beautiful, delicious little ginger snap redhead sitting right here on the set with me today. I'm going to get the cameras right, I swear to God. Stephanie Peterson joining us live.
Smells like Tommy Girl, doesn't it?
It does.
Your very favorite perfume.
Sexy.
That message was so inspiring. It gave me a lot of hope.
That's what it feels like again.
It just feels good. It feels like you're at, what is it called, Tomorrow World?
Yes.
It's at
like Disneyland.
Disney, where you can see all of those like futuristic scenes going around throughout time. That's what it made me feel like. Like I'm traveling through time.
Yes.
And it feels all nostalgic.
Well, you know who came up with the Make America Great Again slogan?
Trump?
It was Ronald Reagan, actually.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was Ronald Reagan.
Really?
Make America Great Again.
So he used to say that?
Yeah, that was a Ronald Reagan phrase.
I was just saying to you the other day, I was born in 1988 and Ronald Reagan was president then, and I wish that I could have been old enough to actually know him when he was president. But as a baby, I had no idea what was going on.
It's morning in America again, which means we're sending the fat kids to the fat camps. Yes, that's right.
What?
No more obesity. Donald Trump.
No, what about positive body image?
That's all over. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez yesterday removed the pronouns from her bios. It's over.
How dare you?
I think it's getting serious.
It's getting serious. Employees at the FDA and the Department of Health and Human Services are threatening to quit.
Why? I'm interested to learn why.
Because RFK Jr. has promised sweeping changes to food and drug regulation, and we're all going to be able to get anabolic steroids over the counter.
Oh, is that part of what he wants to do?
No, but he damn well better let us. If he's going to get jacked up on the juice, he better make sure that it's legal for the rest of us, you know what I'm saying? And if not, then I say that's some commie BS.
Yeah, I don't have so much faith in him.
No, you got to watch RFK Jr. because
he's going to make GMOs illegal.
Oh, you're right. Exactly. He's going to make the problem with people like RFK Jr. has always been that their solution is like, it should be illegal to go to McDonald's. Like that's why I'm glad that Trump is in charge, because he knows America likes McDonald's. It's just that he
worked at McDonald's.
But I think the RFK Jr., since Trump's in charge, he's going to bring back beef tallow again. So we'll make beef tallow great again. There you go.
Yeah. Somebody was supposed to send me beef tallow lotion from Twitter, but it never came in the mail.
It rubs the tallow on its skin and then it gets the hose again. President-elect Donald Trump said he would nominate environmental lawyer and vaccine skeptic Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I like vaccine skeptic better than anti-vaxxer.
That is a nicely phrased way of saying it.
Yeah, I think that's a kind way of saying. You know what?
Yes.
I'm noticing that the mainstream media is becoming a little bit more measured in the last few days. It's almost as if people are starting to kind of change their tune a little bit. And what was I telling you this morning? Big news that I think was it Disney and IBM and all of these major corporations that had pulled their advertising from Elon Musk's platform X are now returning
Money talks.
No, it is money ultimately. You're right, but it's like all these billionaires and these people who were they were being very careful. Some of them hedged their bets. Mark Cuban, he definitely bet on the wrong horse, right? Elon Musk, he bet everything. He bet the house and everything he had on Donald Trump winning. And trust me, the photographs that we saw coming out of Mar-a-Lago last night, our buddy Cliff Maloney hanging out with Elon Musk.
He's a cool guy.
He's making it happen these days.
Is.
He was wearing the tuxedo. He was at Mar-a-Lago last night with Donald Trump and with Elon Musk, but I think more importantly, Javier Milei.
With a very special photo on his phone that he was posing with.
Yeah, should we go ahead and bring the photograph up? I don't know. If people don't follow me on X, they might not see these things. But
sure.
That's why they watch the Wake Up America show, because
this was a surprise. Yes. Austin had no idea that Cliff was going to do this.
Here is Donald Trump, dear leader, with Donald Trump with Javier Milei. I really like this picture of
Javier looked really young in these photos. Yeah, he looks like he just got some like spa treatments done.
But he's kind of like me. He always looks just a little rumpled, right? He's kind of like me. But I like this. Here it is. There's Cliff, our buddy Cliff with Javier Milei.
And a phone. Can you all see what's on that phone?
No, it's hard to see. I don't think I can enhance. The phone there is a picture of the Javier Milei afueras. The sneakers. AP. Because Cliff has a pair of them.
Yes. I thought he was going to wear them to this event.
No, that would have been cool.
This is second best.
Yeah, no, it's
putting
good.
them on your phone.
No, I love it. The Javier Milei afueras. And apparently when Cliff showed them to Javier, and that he had the Afuera sneakers and everything, Javier went crazy. He's like, oh my gosh, Javier, this is
Imagine if Javier actually met the man who made the sneakers.
It'll happen. It's going to happen. Don't worry.
I hope so. He's going to have a heart attack when he meets you.
He'll
be like, gracias.
Gracias, mi amor. He's gonna be a big hug and a kiss like they do on the cheeks,
Probably.
in Argentina.
Yes.
So we're really happy for our buddy Cliff, though. Congratulations.
And then he'll give us a free tantric sex session. He'll be like, please, let me repay you.
We've obviously got a billion things to talk about, and I know everybody's excited to see Justin Peterson will be on the show today.
He's always the favorite. It's okay. I'm used to it,
No, he's not the favorite. You're not the favorite. Baby Hazel's the favorite.
Yes, it's okay for her to be the favorite. I want her. A parent always wants their kid to be better than they are. I want that for her.
I wish that was true, but some people vote for Democrats.
That is true. I did not vote for a Democrat. I voted for Trump. So I clearly want the best future for Hazel.
That's actually a big conversation people have been having, kind of behind the scenes, is the talk about it's like the end of the boomer generation to some extent, because a lot of the people that Donald Trump is appointing, not everybody, but a lot of the people are from my generation, your generation.
They're in their 30s and 40s.
30s and 40s, people who are millennials. They're actually starting to give us important positions and roles where we should be. People like Vivek.
Yes.
The head of Department of Government Efficiency.
Ageism exists.
It does. But, at some point, just like Donald Trump hanging out with Joe Biden. I'm sure Joe Biden, one of the reasons we were talking about why Joe Biden looks so happy these days. And you got to know that one of the reasons why Joe Biden is so happy is because he's just getting the hell out of there. He's tired of it. He's sick of it.
He likes his wife's red suit.
He likes his wife's red suit. Oh, you just keep bringing up the red suit. You just keep talking about the red suit. You think it. Oh, here's the.
It's done on.
You think it is. I tend to agree. Let's see if I can get the picture of Joe Biden and Donald Trump up.
Well,
there we go.
The thing is, I have a blue dress. I've had it for years, and I avoid wearing it because I don't want people to think I'm a Democrat, but I love the dress. So maybe that's how Joe Biden's wife is. Maybe she just loves this suit.
I don't know.
And she just wants to wear it.
Doubt it. But I've got the picture pulled up of Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Look how happy Joe Biden is. Can you lean in here, Steffi, and take a look? Yeah, take a look. I got the camera on me now. See that? There's Trump meeting with Joe Biden. They got a nice warm fire and all that.
I have a funny feeling that his dementia is gone as well.
Maybe he's probably just thrilled. He can't wait to spend all of his days on Rehoboth Beach, eating ice cream and just relaxing in Delaware. And
Yeah.
I mean, to some extent he's earned it, but in other ways it's kind of like get the hell out, Joe.
I'm such a conspiracy theorist in that I'm almost wondering if the administration drugged Biden just to make him look like he was confused. And now he's like not being drugged anymore, so now he's acting normal.
My conspiracy theory is that I was talking to you this morning about revenge.
Yes.
And how revenge is a great in politics. And revenge is almost all of politics. But with Joe Biden, and I've got the Anna Kasparian clip, actually. Here's her, talking of conspiracy theories of the Young Turks. I'm glad I had this ready to go. Anna Kasparian was talking about her conspiracy theory regarding Joe Biden and the stabbed in the back theory, which is, that was the Hitler theory. But here is, where is, dang it, I had Anna Kasparian.
I believe you that you had it.
Yes, it was a video of Anna
You were
Kasparian
just talking about her this morning.
Well, she was, yes. So it was about, she thinks that Joe Biden stabbed the Democrats in the back because,
because they were going to have an open primary.
Yeah, they were going to have an open primary.
So then he ended up supporting Kamala instead of having an open primary. That's her conspiracy theory.
That he wanted the Democrats to lose, so he endorsed Kamala, and he endorsed Kamala so that the Democrats would lose because they were forcing him out. So I think it makes sense because, again, he got his revenge. The day after the election, he was looking so happy. So, I mean, you don't lose an election like this and then look happy right there and then be like, oh, that's, like his entire legacy is kind of destroyed now. He's going to, his executive orders will be overturned.
Yeah.
Like his Supreme Court judges will, if they step down, will be refilled by conservatives. We have the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court. There's a Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah.
This is like the end for like left liberalism, at least for 4, 8, hopefully 12 years, maybe.
Absolutely. I don't know if you know this, but has there been any president who has ever gone to the other side politically after their presidency?
Yes, Theodore Roosevelt. Not exactly the other side, but he quit the Republican Party and started a bull moose party, and it was actually Theodore Roosevelt's fault that we got Woodrow Wilson. So the worst president in American history, number one, absolute bottom of the barrel, worst president, was because Theodore Roosevelt quit the Republican Party and started a bull moose party and ran essentially as a third party and then lost and became, kind of hated by Republicans to some extent. Right now, he's lionized by Republicans because he was a Republican president, but he wanted. I think he wanted a third term, and this would have been before the constitutional amendment, before FDR inspired us to do that. Because here's the thing about George Washington stepping down after his second term is that was voluntary.
Right.
It wasn't a law. He didn't have to. And it became tradition that presidents would step down, but they didn't always step down. And many of them tried to go for third terms, but none of them were successful.
Were there any presidents that had a third term?
FDR.
Oh, just FDR.
FDR is the only one. I think he got a fourth.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, he wanted to be a dictator.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And he was the second worst president. But the FDR getting elected for the fourth term, he died in his fourth term, but FDR getting elected for the fourth time convinced the American people that it was time for a literal constitutional amendment to enshrine that the president of the United States steps down after 2 terms. It was not.
Imagine having what? So he had 4 times. He had 16 years of presidency.
Essentially, not an entire 16 years because he died in his fourth term. It was like
14
12.
years.
It was like 11 or 12.
Imagine having like 12 years of Obama or Biden.
Oh God!
My goodness!
Oh God! No! No!
That's cringe.
Yeah, it's very cringe. You have to understand, but the problem with the thing with the United States being in World War II is that people were terrified of fascism and communism, and they had every right to be afraid, and they didn't want to change the president of the United States because they wanted to ensure perpetuity of the war. There's a really good story from history, and I don't want to get into it because I want to talk about current events. I want to talk about RFK Jr. and all that kind of stuff. But some other time we'll talk about Cincinnatus and the ancient Roman senator. The word tyranny comes from Cincinnatus, where Cincinnati comes from. There's a Cincinnatus society, and George Washington was compared to Cincinnatus because he voluntarily gave up power. Like the first dictator took total power in Rome at the end of the Roman Republic and took total power and then saved Rome and then gave up power and went back to the fields and was a farmer. Cincinnatus was his name. And
I like that kind of leader.
Right. If you go to Washington, D.C. and you go to Embassy Row, there's a kind of secret society, and it's called the Society of Cincinnatus. And that is kind of like their whole like mission is to like have people who are in power to ensure that they peacefully transfer power and that they give up power voluntarily and do so like in order to maintain our democratic processes. But they operate kind of like the Freemasons in a kind of a way. It's a secret society. It's a beautiful building, and they have like pictures of George Washington outside.
Wow, that sounds fun.
Oh yeah, this is the history of America that you don't get anywhere else.
I've never heard of this.
This is why like people who watch the Wake Up America show, if you're like big fans and you like this kind of stuff, we're gonna do a For Liberty Network Washington, D.C. trip, and I will be your tour guide. What do you guys say?
Wow.
You know what we can do is we can do like a whole package, Stephanie. We can set it up. And then like everybody's like trip can just be like, you know, your hotels and everything's paid for and all that kind of stuff.
We can all stay at a hotel. We'll have a block of rooms.
We'll get a block of rooms. You can get a room, and we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it next year.
And then we'd have a schedule of, okay, everyone meet at this restaurant. And then we're going to this monument. Meet us here at this time.
We'll go
so
visit.
People can kind of join up.
Yep.
If they can't be there the whole time.
Yeah. We'll go visit Thomas Massey. We'll go visit Dr. Bob Onder. Archives. He'll probably give us a part of a Capitol tour. He'll take us to the actual Capitol proper.
Yeah.
And then I will take you on the unofficial Liberty tour, which will be fun. What do you guys say? You want to do it? Huh?
Oh my gosh. You should take them to that bar on the top of the hotel that overlooks the White House.
That won't be for everyone. That will be for a certain type of person. But
I liked it. And I'm not like the most party kind of person.
Sure. But we'll make it so that like, you know, everything's optional, obviously.
Right.
But like, you know, we'll make like the packages for the hotels. We'll set it up. You want to do it? Let's do it.
I think, wow. Imagine that. Austin Peterson leading a tour group through Washington, D.C. You need to like hold like a special flag, an appeal to heaven flag.
Yes,
you know how the tour guide person always has a flag so everyone can find them?
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that next year. We'll invite everybody. Everybody's welcome. Yeah. You know, we'll open up the blocks of rooms and let people, you know, book it, and we'll let it fill up. But
I feel like that'll actually be easier for people to get to than Missouri.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. To come out here in the middle of nowhere. But we'll do that. And then what else we can? Another part of it. Remember my toy gun march across Arlington Memorial Bridge?
Yeah.
So like part of the tour will be to go to Arlington, and we'll talk about the toy gun march where I marched across the bridge with like a realistic looking AK-47.
And then will we do our own toy gun march?
No. I did that. I coordinated with like the National Park Service and stuff to do all that. But I'm sure I'm on a list somewhere because of that one. But no. We'll do the AP unofficial Libertarian History Tour.
As long as you're not marching with toy guns to the Capitol, and then you do another January 6th and get us all in trouble. We'd all end up in jail because
we don't have to anymore because Donald Trump's going to give us national reciprocity. Let's talk about the news.
Okay.
We've already been killing 20 minutes. If you guys are interested in an AP Capitol tour, send us a text message. I'll just gauge how many interested people who would actually do it. So, you know, if you'd actually send me a text message, you can do so at 573-319-1586. Again, the text lines are open, and you can send me a text at 573-319-1586.
If you live a simple, clean lifestyle, then they're not going to make as much money, and they're not going to have as much power in Washington and throughout the rest of the country. It's really about power, isn't it?
Well, it's about power and raw economic incentive. And as much as we can suggest that it's simple, it's not easy, and it's not easy by design. And in fact, it's called structural violence. And it's this collaboration of this toxic quartet, if you will, of the way big farming proliferates these cheap, toxic calories. Big food picks up those calories, and they tinker with it a bit more with their food scientists to make it more addictive, to make it omnipresent. Then Big Pharma catches us on the other side and starts treating all of our sicknesses with all their diseases. And we won't even touch on big insurance and how they play a role because there isn't enough time. But the bottom line is, look at the world. It's this simple. Infertility, highest ever. Early onset cancer diagnosis up 79% over the last 3 decades. 74% of adults in America are overweight and obese. We need change. We need it now. What they're doing isn't working, and it's not working on purpose because it's profitable for the very few. And it's bankrupting Americans. It's the #1 cause of bankruptcy is a health-related condition, and it's killing them. If you're afraid of RFK, you've lost your mind. Take a back seat. Let the professionals in this space handle it, and thank God when it starts improving.
Damn, Jillian Michaels.
Dang.
Talking
All the
about-
way from the Biggest Loser show.
No kidding. I mean, she's one of the world's foremost authorities when it comes to health, and she seems to be pretty darn excited by Donald Trump's pick for Health and Human Services Secretary, although people at the FDA and the HHS are threatening to quit, which means good, go, get the hell out.
How dare you?
Kennedy has promised sweeping changes to food and drug regulation and government-funded scientific research in recent days, saying the Food and Drug Administration needed to be eliminated. The Nutrition Department needed to be eliminated, and warning the agency's employees to pack your bags. Oh my God. And you're blackpilling? And you're blackpilling?
So he wants to get rid of it. He doesn't want to
He wants to
replace
go
these
after-
workers with new workers.
He says, this is what he has said. This is your new Health and Human Services Secretary. They're saying they're going to stop him at the confirmation process, but Trump is threatening to do a recess appointment situation. He can what's the word? Not convene Congress. What's unconvene? Disconvene? You convene? What do you do? He can adjourn. He can adjourn Congress. Okay, thank God.
Wow.
Adjourn Congress. And then do recess appointments.
Yes.
And Congress loves to take a vacation, and they will. But Kennedy, 70 years old, abandoned his presidential bid in August. We totally called that and supported that the whole way, didn't we? I was always saying,
Oh, I wanted him to
drop
stop
out.
running.
Yeah, drop out. Endorse Trump. I was like, let's not do this.
He would have ruined the election, I think, if he stayed in.
Maybe, maybe not. Trump won by a pretty big margin, and a lot of the polling that at the time did show that he was hurting the Democrats more, but they didn't want to take a chance.
Right.
So he just endorsed him, and everything worked out straight. And a lot of people who did not like Donald Trump were RFK Jr. fans and did vote for Donald Trump because of RFK Jr.
Yep.
A lot of freedom-loving libertarians who want more peace, they wanted Tulsi Gabbard. That's why they voted for Donald Trump, because of the peace dividend that was paid. And a lot of libertarians are mad because they're like, oh, well, he's putting these neocons in other roles and things like that. But it's like you had to expect there was going to be a Marco Rubio or things like that. And because Donald Trump is he supports Israel and he's tough on foreign policy. He's assassinated Iranian generals. He's not a non-interventionist.
He's not a
as you and I are.
pacifist.
He's not a pacifist, right?
Yes.
So there was always going to be some butthurt from some corner somewhere.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump's coalition is incredible. It's an amazing coalition of libertarians, moderate Democrats, Kennedy-style Democrats, right? Peace-loving, anti-war, moderate Democrats like Tulsi Gabbard, and radical libertarians like Vivek Ramaswamy and now Javier Milei. They were meeting at Mar-a-Lago last night. So this coalition,
Yes.
I mean, this is a potent brew. Something that we have not seen in this country since, God. Everybody talks about, it's the most important election ever. This was the most consequential election of my entire life, and I literally ran for president. This election was far more consequential than even the year that I ran. Even personally to me, that is how, my campaign is insignificant, no matter how big it was to me. My campaign is insignificant compared to what this election meant for me and what it meant for the country. So I win and everybody wins.
I really didn't see this coming. When we saw Javier Milei win this past year, I only wished that something like this could happen in America. And I know when we were having our discussions about America versus Argentina, we were like, I think we might have to hit rock bottom in order to actually vote in liberty. We're not at rock bottom, but we voted in liberty. And I am shocked that the people of America are ready.
Yeah. Well, they were tired of
I'm so thankful.
Well, they were tired of the political correct. You know what? I've got the Joe Rogan clip for this, and we were talking about this earlier today. This is perfect. I'm going to play this here.
many artists that are out there? There's a lot of people that don't speak their mind. Do you know how many artists that have reached out to me that are like fucking hippies, man? Like artists, like musicians, comedians that thanked me for endorsing Trump because they can't do it. They said they want to, but they don't want to be attacked. They can't say it. They think the country's going in the wrong direction. They think that this control of social media by the government, which we would have had pretty much fully if it wasn't for Elon buying Twitter, that this is a dangerous precedent to set, whether it's a right-wing government or a left-wing government. And that what you see that's happening in the UK where people are being imprisoned for tweets and Facebook posts.
In the UK is the part that's mind-bending about it to me.
Mind-bending. The whole thing is nuts, and it's a dangerous path that we were on. We were on that path. Trump has vowed to have free speech become a very important part of what he's standing for, and that this censoring of information needs to stop, and that we need to stop all government influence in what people have to say.
America's not going to be California. So
honestly, I think certain things had to happen in order for this whole thing to occur. I think Trump getting shot, that changed him. Him being accused of all of these different, felonies, crimes, I don't know what you call them. Him being accused of all of those things, that changed him. So I think if those two things hadn't happened, Trump may have not been so into liberty.
Maybe, yeah. I think, the thing with Trump is always that, like, he's not obviously philosophically like a libertarian, but I think that it's complicated, but one of the aspects of this is that the enemies of liberty, all of the people who hate us and what we stand for, the John Boltons, the Bill Kristols, the big government neocons, and the leftist social democrats, the ladies of The View, right, who would, hate people like us, which, by the way, the ladies of The View are asking for, like, some conservatives to come and talk to them because
I saw
they're so
that.
desperate. They're desperate. Yeah, we got to get to that too. But those people, they're Trump's enemies too. So Trump Trump is on our side because they don't want, this is how he described it. He says, they're not coming after me. They're coming after you, but I'm just standing in their way. Trump is acting as a bulwark for our free speech, for our economic liberties. He's standing in the way of the tyrants who want to cancel you for a joke and who want to remove you from your job because you said a woman's beautiful, right? Like Donald Trump would made that statement. I played the clip yesterday where he was talking about, he's like, look at her, she's beautiful. He's like, oh, I can't say that anymore. He's like, I don't want to say that she's beautiful anymore, even though she is. It's like, you can't say she's beautiful. Oh, you can say a woman's beautiful now, right? The HR department. That's the thing is, like, and we were talking about this exact topic, is that the HR department is not going to dictate anymore what we say or what we do. People are going to have to, not only are they going to have to toughen up mentally, they're going to have to toughen up physically in order to keep up with the fat camps that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is going to send them to.
Wow. America's going to be so beautiful.
Yes.
Landscape and the people.
We were also talking about this being a proxy war of the sexes when Nelson was here. By the way, thank you, Nelson, for helping us set up.
We love you, Nelson. Thank you.
This was a proxy war of the sexes, where, like, women were 5'2" with an attitude, and we're gonna outvote you, and we're gonna have girl boss, and and the men need to be put in their place, and all that kind of stuff. So the men rose up and decided that the men would, and women joined us too. A lot of women who are tired of seeing their young boys harassed, put on Ritalin, put in situations where they're not allowed to be boys, and all this kind of stuff. Mothers of boys, a lot of them were speaking out, talking about how they're tired of seeing boys, nobody puts baby in the corner. And so if this was a proxy war of the sexes, the men won.
They did.
It's a good thing. Yeah. It's a good thing too, because there needs to be balance, right? This whole, you can't say that, I'm offended, I don't like it. That is a female-centric worldview and philosophy. It's been foisted on our society. This desire to be nice, right? This everybody be nice, don't make jokes, don't do this kind of stuff. That is very much a nannying That is a nanny state. In the UK, you get arrested if you make an off-color joke. You make
Right.
the wrong joke to the wrong person and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, it's not to say that you need to go out there and purposely try to offend absolutely everyone you will. There are people who will do that, and that is their career and all that kind of stuff. You know, there does have to be, and Andrew Heaton asked me about this in an interview before the election. What about decorum? What about, you know, civility and all that kind of stuff? And I said, there is a place for that, but not now. Now is not the time. Now is the time when we must put on our horned helmets, drink from giant steins of beer, frosty brew, and fight to go to Valhalla. Now we must, if you read Machiavelli's The Prince, and you read and you take it seriously, and if you don't, you will be the person whose head is on a pike. When things like this have been going on for so long culturally, and the left has dominated us and has bullied us into a corner, you want to be magnanimous, you want to be generous, but you got to put a few heads on pikes. There are going to have to be some people who are going to have to pay the price. And you can actually see who those people are right now on X. They're screaming. It's like you've lifted up a rock and they're like, you know what I mean? I'm saying it's like,
Right,
it's
right.
like they're freaking.
Yeah, when there's a bug under the rock
Yes.
and it freaks out.
Yeah, some CIA lady was freaking
Yes.
out because Tulsi Gabbard's going to be the head of Director of National Intelligence and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The bad guys are going to be, evil must be punished.
Yeah.
It used to be not a law, but a code in the United States that if you wanted to make a movie during a certain period, that evil must be punished. And there's a famous exception. Justin always tells me about this. I can't wait to talk to him about 20 minutes. He's listening. He'll probably like this. But Justin always talks about It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes, the movie.
It was an accident that at the end, Mr. Potter, the bad guy, was not punished. But at the time in Hollywood, you could not make a movie where evil was not punished. In the end, the bad guy always had to lose,
Right.
and the good guy had to win.
Right.
Because of all the people were tired of the licentiousness of Hollywood, and I'm not saying bring back the production code or anything like that, but I mean, I'm using this as a metaphor. But the Hollywood production code was that if you had a movie of between good and evil, the good guys had to win. And it wasn't just that the bad guys had to lose, the evil actually had to be punished. So,
Right.
and it's funny because Wonderful Life kind of like made it through the production code because it was such a positive, optimistic, feel-good movie. And because George does like get his family back together, that you think, oh, that like the good guys have won because George Bailey has, you know, he has decided to not kill himself and he's decided to love his family and to like, the city comes together to give him money to like solve the problem of the money missing from the savings and loan that was stolen by whoever was the bad guy in the movie.
I'll need to watch this movie.
Yeah, we'll watch it again. But he gets away with it. The bad guy steals the money, and just because George Bailey, the lead character, gets the money from the village, the evil wasn't punished. So
Well, that's not cool. They
But-
still need to do justice. Give justice to
correct. There does need to be justice. And I heard that there was a name picked for Attorney General, but I don't know this person very well. I'll have to do some. I'm sorry. Matt Gaetz actually was Attorney General.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of another pick. Matt Gaetz, huge. I like what somebody said on my show yesterday. John Miltimore. You don't have to like Attorney General Matt Gaetz. A lot of people don't like him, and he might have to be confirmed by a recess appointment. But we're not sending people to Washington, D.C. to make friends.
No.
You know, I'm not sending Bob Onder to the Capitol to make friends, right? Kathy Jo Loy, you know, our friend,
she'll make friends.
Yeah, she'll make friends.
She's so sweet.
She asked me yesterday. We were on Scott's show yesterday, and she just got elected. She's a freshman representative from Missouri. She credits me with like her conversion from conservatism to libertarianism, and she just got elected. She's a freshman, and she's kind of intimidated by everything because she doesn't understand parliamentary procedure.
Of course.
Robert's Rules of Order. She doesn't know how leadership is picked.
Oh,
This is her
goodness.
first time, so she's overwhelmed.
Will she have to go to Washington, D.C.
No,
in her
she's
position?
a state rep.
Oh, okay.
She's a state rep, right? She might do things like tours of the border and different things like maybe junkets with other states and stuff like that. But she's here in Jeff, right? But she took me aside after the show yesterday, and I could tell that she was kind of overwhelmed because they had just had the leadership pick, and she didn't know exactly how to like maneuver, or she had no alliances, no friends, didn't know anybody and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I just told her, I was like, just listen more than you speak. Because everybody like us, we want to go in, we want to burn the place down, tear it to the stuff like that. I'm like, you will last longer the more you listen and the less you speak.
Yeah.
I go, take your time, find out what's going on, learn the rules of order. Find out who your friends are. Keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. To be an effective advocate for our cause and our ideas, we have to be smart. We have to wait until the day when total victory has come, like it just did on the federal level, before we start chopping off heads. And there will be heads, metaphorically speaking, in Minecraft. This is not a call to violence. If you're just tuning into the Wake Up America show, good morning. I'm Austin Peterson. I have no idea if we've been getting Rumble rants, and I'm sorry. I'm on my internet phone. I'm on my phone.
Well, we don't have the doc, right?
We don't have a mini doc today. I know Quest Fanning says, what is best in life? To crush your enemies. Thank you. He says, yes. Redemption is best, going from evil to good. Unfortunately, most leftists stop at yes.
I wish we didn't have good and evil. I wish we could just be somewhere in between, but it doesn't seem to work out that way.
I don't know if that. Why would you rather it be something in between? That almost is just. Then it's just evil to me, right? Without good and evil, I think.
It's just more tolerable if people are in the middle.
What do you mean?
If they're not super evil or like super good, if they're just like average and they're working together and compromising.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that would be better off for everybody.
Some things do kind of shake out that way. Some staff members of the Food and Drug Administration are considering a quick exit.
Yes.
As Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is being floated as a potential health official. There you go. There's self-deporting.
That's kind of what happened with Javier Milei. Only Javier Milei was like, afuera.
Fuera.
He told them to get out.
That's right. Oh, that's funny. NJM77 says, can't have good without evil. I was just saying that to you this morning, wasn't I?
You have to have the opposites.
Yeah, I was talking to you about like the darkness, and I was talking to you about my darkness, and like where is my dark side? Because I was like, if you don't have a dark side, and you don't encourage your dark side to some extent, right? The ability to do terrible things. This is what Jordan Peterson talks about. Like, a good man is a monster who keeps it under control.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you're incapable of doing terrible things, you're not a good person.
Right.
You're a weak person. Right. If you're incapable of doing it, then you're just, then you're just weak. A good man must be capable of doing terrible things, but must keep it under control. Right. But sometimes, why must a good man be capable of doing terrible, awful things? Why must even a good man be capable of it, Stephanie?
So he could fight evil.
Right.
Because evil always exists. I remember as a young kid learning my opposites. Life, death, right, wrong. And it's like existence doesn't happen without the opposites. It's just, it can't be. So we have to accept it.
But good men.
Just me as an idealist, I'm like, we have to get rid of evil, but I know we can't.
No, but you can fight it, and you can dominate it, and you can have the balance be towards the light. And you will know them by their fruits and what they say and how they behave when the light and the rock is lifted up, the creatures will start scurrying, and evil will think. Adolf Hitler thought that he was good. He thought that he was the good person.
Of course.
Right? And not to compare the left to Hitler, not that they would do anything like that to us, but and yet.
I don't know what you want me to say. I am just at a loss because we're watching something happen in slow motion that is terrifying. The reason we have a great country is because there are pillars in place. There are columns and structures, just like in your house, columns and pillars that you don't see. But they keep things in a good place. They keep things in a good direction. We have healthy children because there are people who've made sure that there are things in place for that. And right now we're seeing termites unleashed on everything. And this is a termite appointment. We know for sure that Bobby Kennedy is a vaccine denier. He's a vaccine denier. He denies being a denier, but he is a denier. And he is going to do great harm. And when you drive down trusted institutions, democracy only works in a high trust environment. When you make everything political, when you make everything negative, when you cast doubts and aspersions, eventually people have to rely on strong men.
I wonder if we have a low trust environment. It couldn't be because you have people like, Jussie Smollett putting on pretending to, faking hate crimes and going for victimhood stat. That it couldn't be the fact that we're a low trust society because their entire full worldview relies on victimhood and ascending pyramids of victimhood status. Couldn't be that at all. But no, they're evil. They're evil. Now, I don't agree with Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s stances on vaccines.
Yeah, and I'm actually concerned. So let's say that there's another epidemic that comes out.
Yes.
Would he stand in the way of vaccines coming out to treat something?
Would
he be like, no, these vaccines are bad. We can't make another one.
I'm only guessing, but I would say yes, probably, and that is a problem.
And that makes me scared.
Well, I'm not.
Because imagine if he stood in the way of the polio vaccine.
But you know what? Here's why I'm not afraid. Because Donald Trump is pro-vax.
Yes.
Yes, and Donald Trump is in charge. And Donald Trump has always been pro-vaccine.
So Donald Trump can still override what he does.
Absolutely. He serves at the president's pleasure. So, and Donald Trump was actually very proud of the coronavirus vaccine and Operation Warp Speed. And he has never rescinded that. He's never backed away from that. And I think that he will balance it out. Just like with Tulsi Gabbard, right? He will balance out maybe her more dovish instincts. And then Marco Rubio, the neocon, who will be the Secretary of State, he will balance out his more war hawk instincts. Right? The president seems to be making good picks and putting them in the right place. Matt Gaetz, as Attorney General, as a firebrand, is going to go in there and he's going to burn the place down. I hope that they gut the FBI. I hope that they gut the Department of Justice. Scott Fawn on the show yesterday, who's a moderate guy, was saying that he hopes that Matt Gaetz goes in there and burns that system to the ground because he says Fawn is not even a big Trump guy. He's not a big Trump fan.
Right.
But he is like what they did to him and tried to do to throw him in jail and the way they prosecuted him. And now those are all evaporating. He's like, the Department of Justice is corrupt to its core. So bringing someone like Matt Gaetz in like that, it's like, again, it's a purifying force. Fire is a purifying force.
Yes.
It is a purifying thing, right? Yes, it brings harm. Yes, it can bring destruction. But like when you have something like a forest and it's rotten and it's overgrown, then the fire brings healthy, clean, new growth. And that's what we're going to get.
Oh, yeah. I firmly believe that things have to get worse before they get better. And so it might be a little painful and uncomfortable for a little while just seeing all of this chaos happening. But it's all going to be good in the end.
Yeah,
so just lean into this discomfort. It'll be okay. Just like Javier Milei. The people of Argentina were like, oh my gosh, what's going on? This doesn't feel good. But now things are improving.
Yes, exactly. You have to go through the pain. The only way out is through. You have to embrace the suck.
Yes.
You have to take your medicine, and you have to accept the pain of losing weight and not being such a fatty.
To steer clear of politics, but this really isn't about politics because this is somebody who has been, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has been pushing quackery, who has been pushing lies, who has been pushing conspiracy theories. You've been talking to experts in the health community, the medical community, preparing for him, RFK Jr., to be given some sort of role in health. What have they said to you?
Well, it's not often that the entire medical and public health community is going to be in lockstep on something, but they're pretty close on this in terms of their significant concerns, horror even. Somebody said to me today, I can't think of any single individual who'd be more damaging to public health than RFK. Keep in mind, I think if the reporting's correct and the job is the Secretary of Health and Human Services, that comprises the CDC. We just got through this pandemic, comprises the FDA, comprises the NIH. He's talked about wanting to basically strip funding for infectious diseases overall. Again, just coming out of this pandemic with concerns about other viruses and things out there. The challenge, I think, is that at the same time, there is this whole idea that we're not a very healthy country. We spend $4.5 trillion on healthcare, and we have some of the worst outcomes in the developed world. And our food supply and other things are partly to blame, things that he's talked about. So there's these kernels of agreement with regard to the medical establishment.
Agreed. That's where I'm at.
And the public health establishment in particular. But then there's these other things like Caitlin was just talking about that they're not alternative views, they are false views. Yeah. People often say, well, these are alternative views. They're
I'm not with the right-wing crunchy granola, like hippie conservatives on this kind of stuff. And it's not to say that the coronavirus vaccine was like some miracle cure. It was not. And
No.
it was not as effective as they billed to us. They lied to us about its efficacy. And whether or not it was actually effective in like 26% of cases or things like that, they say, maybe not, right? The flu vaccine, they say is like they're lucky if it gets that high in terms of its efficacy.
That's not always very effective either.
And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has like written in periodicals about things like connections of vaccine to autism, which I'm...
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe is he going to head some studies about
Probably.
this? That would actually be nice.
That'd be fine.
I want some real formal studies to be done showing that vaccines
Me
cause
too.
autism.
Now, here's the thing. Well, there have been studies that have done that.
And those doctors have died mysteriously.
No.
I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm sorry.
Honey, on a long enough timeline, we're all dead.
I
okay?
know, but they died in weird ways.
No, they always die in weird ways.
They like disappear randomly.
Yeah, no, like let's. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with the conspiratard mindset, guys. I know I'm going to disappoint
That's
you and all
me.
that kind of stuff. Remember when people were dying and they would die in like a car wreck and they'd say they died of COVID and the left was doing that, right?
Yes.
The right wingers were doing the same shit with, they died in a car wreck and it was probably because they were vaccinated. You know what I mean? Like conspiratards of left and right always make the same observational errors. And they make the same errors in logic. Now, people like me, we are also I'm prone to errors in logic too.
Yeah.
But conspiratards and skeptics make different types of mistakes. Like I've explained this before, but you guys are more, and this is the majority of people. More people are conspiratards than skeptics. There's more of you guys than us, but most people are dumb. So the way this works is you guys, the conspiratards, you make an error of there's a rustling in the grass. You think it's a tiger every time. You're like, oh my God, it's a tiger, it's a tiger. Okay.
That's how we survive in this world. Darwinism, baby.
That's why there's so many more of you than there are people like me who go 7% of the time it's a tiger. 94% of the time, the rest of the time, what is it? It's wind in the grass, right? So calm down, like because you are a jumpy person, right? You're always very like, something like freaks you out, and always kind of like, calm down, right? But the problem is that the tiger is there enough a percentage of the time that it eats people like me. So therefore, it was seen by our ancestors, our caveman ancestors, as more beneficial to always conspiracize. It's called confirmation bias.
Yes.
You were always safer assuming that the vaccine caused the autism than not assuming, right? You weren't always safer, because there can also be negative consequences of you can go cuckoo and all that kind of stuff, go lunatic, but some people can make a lot of money from it. But people like myself, we're in a smaller pool because the tiger would eat us at sometimes. There would be a reason to take precaution. And I have to be careful of my confirmation bias. My confirmation bias is maybe there is a tiger at the door. Maybe I should be a little bit more, so that's type 1 errors and type 2 errors. And it also has a lot to do with our locus of controls. Whereas someone who blames everything in the outside, George Soros is why I'm a loser, right? That's a high external locus of control. It's the globalists are why I'm fat, right? It's RFK Jr. If it wasn't for those darn cockamamie corporations, then I would know not to eat at McDonald's. No, your fat ass would still eat at McDonald's either way, okay? Like we know, it's poison and you eat it anyway, right? It's kind of like...
We eat it.
Right, absolutely. And we know exactly what we're doing, right? And that is the thing. So do you know what you're doing? That's the thing. Is the government lying to us and giving us a food pyramid, some bullshit statistics about what's healthy and what's not? I remember I was talking about this the other day. In the 80s as a kid, they were telling us eggs were not healthy. The government was telling us not to eat eggs because of the cholesterol involved. That was wrong. That was bullshit. It's a lie, right? But there is, corporations to some extent, it's the marketing that they're lying about. Like they're taking our tax dollars and they're converting it into sugar. The real corruption comes from the government influence of the corporations of the industries on government. This is what I hope RFK fixes. They won't. I promise you, I will bet I will bet every penny I have in my business bank account that funds this show and these operations, I will bet every single penny that no one is going to touch the sugar industry in Florida. I promise you. I promise you.
Yeah,
I will bet
really
you.
hope that we start selling Coca-Cola here that has real cane sugar in it.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why they don't is because it's cheaper to do high fructose corn syrup and it's subsidized.
So I hope we do away with that. I hope RFK says no more. Let's have our sodas with real sugar.
If Robert F. Kennedy Jr. does that, he will have accomplished one of the greatest health problems that we have in this country. But here's the thing. That evil is so intimately tied into our government that Republicans will stand in our way. You know who will stand in our way? The Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. You do not become a senator from Florida. You do not become a top elected official in Florida if you are not in the pocket of the sugar lobby. The sugar industry, the sugarcane industry, and the creation of sugar.
So we want the sugarcane industry. Sugarcane's good. It's the high fructose corn syrup that's not.
No, it's not. It doesn't matter, right? The problem is the subsidy, okay? Sugar, high fructose corn syrup, sucrose is sucrose, okay? Your fat ass is eating high fructose
sugar.
Yeah, Robert
But the more natural, the better.
It's all about dosage. This is another conspiratard problem, is that they don't understand dosage. It's like the same with the fluoride problem. They're like, fluoride will reduce your IQ. Yeah, if you drink a whole glass full of fluoride,
I think RFK is going to remove the fluoride in the water.
Fine, I don't care.
I think he will.
I don't care. I brush my teeth with it and all that kind of stuff. But nobody's drinking quarts of fluoride or things like that and all that kind of stuff. It's just it's one of those things. Just give it to the conspiratards so that they can feel better about themselves. I don't care. What I care about and what I'm black-pilled on this. I don't believe I'm dooming. I'm going to doom on this. They will not change the agricultural subsidies. The farmers will scream. They will cry. They will say, "No, you're going against the family farms." And it's a lie because it's bullshit lie because they're all funded major, huge industry. Farming's it's not like a family farm thing anymore. There's like 10 family farms out there. They're all big corporations, right? Farmers are not poor. They are, you can't make it as a farmer and be poor. You have to make money. There might be some poor farm families out there. They're very few and far between. And if anything, they're like the exceptions in the case of rape. Very, 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 very rare, and then you shouldn't set whole national policy based on that. The reality is that corn and sugar and soybeans and corn syrup and all that kind of stuff, they are subsidized by our taxpayer dollars. It will be a miracle if they're able to stop those subsidies and do it, because I think there'll be a war. I think there'll be a civil war.
The farmers will take their pitchforks.
It's
Absolutely.
They'll sell it. Initially, that's how they'll do it. There'll be a campaign. There'll be a psyop where the farmers will do all these ads and paid ads about the farmers, help the farmers, support the subsidy, support the farmer, right here, farming. But if the subsidies ever actually really start to remove, some of these people are so rich they can afford private armies, and they will fight. These people will fight to the death. You have to understand, Missouri's current political establishment would die. It would be a revolution in states like Iowa, Nebraska, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, where agriculture is not the number one industry in Missouri, but don't tell people like that because they pretend it is.
What's the number one?
I think it's tech.
Oh,
technology.
Wow. That's weird.
AT&T and Verizon and T-Mobile. Who knew? Who would have thought?
Hitachi.
Hitachi. Yeah, they pretend like it's ag because it's all bullshit act to get to get rednecks to vote for them in their districts. So they act like, it's ag and all that kind of stuff. But they don't. It's not true. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a bullshit lie. My brother Justin's going to join us here live in less than 5. Okay. I've got a lot more to say about this.
Literally in 1 minute.
Yeah, he's standing by. I'm going to play this clip. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll let Justin join us to play the clip from Justine Bateman, another actress, a huge Hollywood actress who has come out, who's been going anti-woke. More and more people are coming out, and the green shoots are starting. They're saying, we're sorry. It's time for us to come around. It's time for us to be able to speak out. It's time for it to be morning in America again on the Wake Up America show on the 4 Liberty Network.
If there wasn't going to be somebody who was a fiery champion of liberty, somebody who would get out there and who would be aggressive, and if they wouldn't do it with more fire or passion than I had, then I would go and I would fight this battle for us. I've fought for the principles that we all share. Parties tend to be secondary to me. We're here because we believe in the principles of liberty. I am not a perfect messenger, but I think I'm a damn good one. This is a replica of our first president's flintlock pistol. You have my full support, my respect, and my gun.
I think that at the heart of my philosophy is much more libertarianism than well, that's the fashionable word these days, I guess. A conservative is no longer just that. He's a libertarian and always has been.
Yet any time you and I question the schemes of the do-gooders, we're denounced as being against their humanitarian goals. They say we're always against things, we're never for anything.
What is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation.
Well, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves.
Conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government, get off my back, get out of my pocket, and let me have more control of my own destiny.
Happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors, what would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
Do you hate the deep state? Do you reject the Antichrist in all his ways? Do you believe that aliens controlled LBJ to assassinate John F. Kennedy? Did you know that the shot can put chemicals in you that will make you more sensitive to 5G? Do you love America? Do you want more freedom? Do you like smoking hot red-headed libertarians? Then the AP for Liberty shop is for you! Check out all the awesome new merch and have a happy new year! Fight the deep state, reject the Antichrist. Visit AP for Liberty shop and get your patriotic merchandise now, or the deep state wins.
Is that the political correctness, the sort of woke era is over, because you need mob mentality momentum in order to keep that going, in order to threaten people if they're not thinking and talking the way you do, to threaten their lives, threaten their careers, threaten their place in society. You need that momentum in order to do that. And when Trump won presidency again, that cut that momentum off. So
the momentum is off. Good morning.
Good morning.
Rise and freedom. I'm Austin Peterson, and that is the lovely Stephanie joining us still here on set.
Hello. I feel a lot of momentum.
Yes, in your bowels. Justine Bateman, me too, I had some coffee. Justine Bateman, Hollywood actress, Family Ties fame, has been having a big awakening. She went on Jesse Waters' show yesterday. I just played that clip of them talking about how people are not afraid to feel like they're going to be censored, that the mob mentality is going away, and you love to see it. Now, I know you guys are excited because Justin Peterson is coming. But before we do, we want to give back a little bit. It's not the usual time that we give away stuff, but today we're going to give away a dark MAGA hat on the show.
Yay, we're feeling charitable.
If you guys want to be a part of the entry, all you got to do is be a monthly subscriber to the Wake Up America show. If you donate a monthly donation to the For Liberty Network, then you will be entered to win automatically. If you don't do a monthly donation to the Wake Up America show's For Liberty Network, then now is a great time to start. Stephanie, where can people go? Hold that up, my lovely wife. Be my Vanna White.
My head is so small, these hats. Okay.
The dark MAGA Make America Great Again hat, Elon Musk hat, is available for sale. It's the #1 seller in our shop right now. You can get it at forlibertyshop.com if you want to just buy it. But we'll give one away at the end of the show. So if you're a monthly subscriber, then great. If you have forgotten to renew, now's the time to renew. If you can do it on Rumble. Thank you to Steelbringer for your $5 donation. We appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Become a monthly subscriber. You can do it right here on Rumble. You can do it at wakeupAmericaShow.com/support. That's wakeupAmericaShow.com/support. And we'll be grateful, and then we will pick a random winner by the end of the show. All right, so.
And if you donate at least $17.76 a month, you can get our holiday card that I'm literally ordering in the coming week. So you can't miss it.
Keep saying that, but we shall see. Joining us now live on the show is my brother, Justin Peterson, live from Boston. Justin, are you feeling like it's morning in America again?
I love that. Your show's been great this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love that commercial. It's like that commercial to me rests in the same spot in my heart where that old Folgers commercial was on Christmas, where like the guy comes home and like, Peter, like he makes coffee in the morning on Christmas, and you're just like, yeah, man. Like, this is the thing I really think that we need more of in America is inspiration. I really do, because I keep looking at, we've talked about this years ago when I was on your show. And we were talking about people that are triggered by the American flag, right? The people that are like, oh, I see American flags and I think alt-right. I want, Make America Great Again to me is like, let's just can we like our country? Like, can we not be just like so sad about things all the time?
Or just always perpetually offended. But they're addicted, Justin. It's like a drug for them, like the perpetual rage machine, and the media loves it because they feed into it, right? They benefit with the clicks and the outrage and all that kind of shit. It's like Nelson, our buddy this morning, was saying, like, you know what, Austin? He's like, I love this show because he's like, you're so positive and optimistic. Mm-hmm. You're not like doom, always the end and all that kind of stuff. So, people, I feel like, are tired of it,
Well, here's my deal, and I'm gonna go off the radar, and you're gonna be like,
go off,
come back.
Go off, Queen, go off, King.
Let's talk.
I'm sorry.
Whichever. Let's talk about the fact.
Oh, you don't put your pronouns in your bio either.
Oh, you're taking your pronouns off of your bio, Justin? Like AOC?
I never did.
Never did. Good.
Only because I was coerced, and I was like, oh,
turn up that microphone a little more, JP.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
And then say your piece.
Okay. So hang on. First of all, I got to get my. Let me get my audio going here. Hang on. Okay.
Can't you just do it on the mic? Just turn up the gain on the mic. Yeah, just turn up the gain a little bit. There you go.
It's very complex, everyone.
Louder. No, go again. Keep talking.
Hello, 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Louder.
1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Louder.
Quieter.
There we go.
1 2 3.
He doesn't sound any different.
Okay, I guess it's on his computer. That's the settings and all that kind of stuff.
Hold
on, while Justin fixes that.
Yeah. Let me fix my sound.
Worse than ever before in our country's history. With interest rates at about half the
record
highs
Justin.
of 1980. Nearly 2,000 families today
there we go.
buy new homes. more than at any.
Yes, it's much better. Okay, there we go. Yes, Justin, we got you back. Hold on.
I like how he says 500 to 600 people are getting married today.
Yeah, that was in the 1984, but I mean, yes.
It's so cute.
Yeah, I wonder what it is today. How many people are going to get married today?
5 people.
States? Yeah, nobody.
They're getting divorced. No, 500 to 600 people are getting divorced today.
Justin,
that's the reality.
You were going to go off on a tear, Justin, about
no, this whole dispiriting thing. Here's where people are going to go. Justin, come back to earth. Communism has built into it this idea of resentment and this idea of fighting. Communism is about fighting, and it's about making people feel black-pilled all the time, because the only way people will rise up in a communist revolution is if they just feel absolutely dispirited and without any purpose. Sorry, that was my little tirade. Okay, but it's true. It's built on resentment. It's built on grievance. It's built on fighting.
Yeah.
And that's why, my belief system, which I have come more and more to believe, it really is classical liberalism. I mean, I really believe that that's kind of where I fit.
Oh, God.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, no, really.
One of us.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is, for me, is that it's this idea of limiting principles, right? I have limiting principles. Communists don't have limiting principles.
Right.
There's nothing that will stop them from totalizing you in your brain. And you know what else I was thinking about this morning? I was thinking about property rights, because that sort of is a central thing for liberalism. But you know what we don't talk about? Property rights of your own mind.
Oh,
that your mind is also your property, right? And how you think and what you think about things, that's your property. Your brain is your property. And you don't have to allow other people to take control of your brain and what you think and how you live in the world and how you walk in the world. That's why I believe in cognitive liberty. Cognitive liberty. Oh my gosh.
Freedom of thought.
I like that term, cognitive liberty.
Freedom to disagree. Yes.
Yes.
Justine Bateman, she posted this on X. She says, to those taking issue with the things I've been saying lately, there's nothing at all controversial with what I'm saying. I'm expressing relief at a lifting of a spiritual heaviness that has been our society for the past 4 years or more. It's been more. I am looking forward to what follows. She says, I've never cared if I'm talking to a left-leaning or right-leaning media outlet. When it's time for me to deliver something publicly, what I have to say is for all people and not just for one set of people or another. What I'm delivering is for everyone who needs to hear it, and that group is not divided along party lines. For those of you who reached out to me to tell me, beware of the group with whom you're associating, I say, fuck off. I have something to do here. If you don't like it, move the fuck on, she says.
How dare you?
I mean, that's pretty straight and forward, Justin. It feels as if, evil is on, it feels like the 11th hour, the 11th minute of November 11th, 1918. The war is you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that recording of the end of World War I? The audio recording?
Isn't there all those gunshots?
Yeah.
And then it's silence?
Yeah, you hear the war, you hear the bombs exploding, you hear the gunshots firing and things like that, and you hear the shouting, and then all of a sudden it's silence. Everything starts to go away, and then a few seconds later you hear the birds.
Oh,
that's
returning.
Gives me goosebumps.
That's so moving.
Yeah,
oh.
yeah. It's that's what it feels like. It feels like that morning in America with Ronald Reagan. It feels like we chose hope. We chose to look forward and to the future and to choose a bright future rather than a dark totalitarian one.
You know what my leftist sister said? She actually said she has hope now as well. Because she said, you know what? If Trump says he's going to bring all these good things, show me. She's like, show me that this world can be better. She's like, I'm ready to see it.
That's a good attitude.
And so she's actually hopeful that some change is going to happen if he sticks to what he says.
Yeah, not everybody is feeling the same as MSNBC yesterday.
Known to be a white supremacist, known to be an extremist, whose platform, whose book is basically about his opposition to the advancement of black officers to the top brass.
That's MS talking about the Secretary of Defense incoming, Pete Hegseth, that he's a known white supremacist. So the grift industry, they'll never stop because they profit and monetize from our failure, their disaster. They're in the market of bulls and bears. They're what they call in Wall Street perma-bears. They never see a bright spot in for America or outcome, or that they're always betting against. They're like, if you've never played craps, there's always, you have to have somebody betting against you, right? So they call somebody fade me. They're like, if you're playing craps, somebody fade me. That means bet against me, that I'm going to roll a certain amount of dice. People at MSNBC, people at NBC, people at CNN, they are screaming, crying because they bet against us. Mark Cuban, they bet against us. They bet on the wrong horse, and now they're going to pay the price. Some of them will benefit. Some of them will survive through the next 4 years and 8 years. Somebody will have to be an opposition party to Donald Trump. But I think that we will see transformational change in our country no matter what.
We already have. If you look at the viewership, people are leaving those news sources in droves. Did you follow the story with the Twitter? Everyone's going off of Twitter. Have you seen this? Now they're all going over to Blue Sky, right?
Yes, that's the leftist social media platform.
And they're hemorrhaging subscribers. Like, people are waking up to the fact too, I think, that a lot of these influencer leftists were wrong. And there you go. There's your erosion of trust, right? So when people are like, oh, I don't trust this person to tell me what's really going on. Because if you're shocked by the Trump win, I hope maybe that's what that is that people are going, you know what, look at the news sources I'm consuming. Like I said, I think maybe last week, like if you're surprised by this, you're not paying attention. You're not following news stories. You're not listening to the gross sort of collection of news in the country. And so if you're surprised, you're living in a bubble. You're 100% living in a bubble. And I think these people are becoming disenfranchised, I hope. I mean, like, how many viewers did one of the top liberal people, like 135,000 subscribers on X, gone, But what gets me is, like, it's not that they're leaving Twitter because they can't say what they want to say. They're leaving Twitter because you get to say what you want to say.
Yeah. Stephanie?
Oh, I mentioned this last week, but I'm one of those people in the bubble. I was so surprised that Trump won because the woke people just make themselves seem like they're so much bigger in population than they really are.
Yeah, there was a moment. There was a moment in February when I thought we would win, and I kind of got on that train, and I never really got off it. The belief that deep down that we would win. And Stephanie, you were kind of blackpilling me a little bit, but towards the end. But I was always just trying to be cautious because I've just seen crazier things. I've been in this a long time at this point. Yeah. But back in February, the New York Times wrote a piece. I shared it on my X account yesterday. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, here it is. The New York Times, anti-Trump burnout. The resistance says it's exhausted. Bracing for yet another election against Donald Trump, America's liberals are feeling the fatigue. We're kind of like crisis out, one Democrat said. Yeah, over and over. He's Hitler. They're Nazis. It's Madison Square Garden, the Hitler Bund, the Hitler German. And now, you've got Joe Biden in the White House meeting with Adolf Hitler to give him power, and you've got ladies at The View, Whoopi Goldberg and Joy, they're all, the ABC News, they're all begging, please Nazis, please Nazis, come on our show. We need more Nazis on our show. We need to get more Nazis here.
But did you notice how the reversal occurred where it was like they stopped sort of blaming Trump and now they blamed all the other the Americans? So once Trump won, it was like, we're going to reverse this. It's called Darvo. You know this, Stephanie, this Darvo?
No.
What is Darvo?
Tactic. Darvo is deny and reverse offender, basically where you deny something that you're doing and you reverse the person. You say, no, it's you that's doing this. It's sort of a tactic of control. They're Darvoing the American public, basically. They're trying to say like the media, right? Rather than saying that, well, they caused it, which they did. They're reversing it now on the American people and saying, well, the American people are uneducated, they're fascist, they're racist, they're homophobic, they're transphobic, whatever.
Yes.
I just
they
don't
think everyone's ignorant.
Yeah, they think we're all stupid. See, this is the thing. Well, this is what is against cognitive, this idea of cognitive liberty. What happens when you don't have cognitive liberty is that you have to defer your thinking to other people. You have to let other people do your thinking for you. So therefore, you are a slave. You are a cognitive slave to other people. You can't see what's in front of you. You can't make your own decisions. You can't discuss medical things. You have to look at what's going on. And someone else is going to tell you what it is. The science, right? That is giving your power over to other people.
Damn good stuff.
And that's what John Stuart Mill used to talk about. John Stuart Mill. I'm gonna get in trouble. John Stuart Mill was really no freedom. He was no friend of liberty because his views were always about we need people that are going to tell us what to do and what to think. John Stuart Mill was very much in that. He was sort of in that place. I can't remember he has a name for the kind of philosophy that he
like a
believed in.
disposition for that. Yeah. Was it was it Hegelian?
Not necessarily. No, it was because there was the Scottish Enlightenment, and then came in this sort of subjectivist philosophy,
It's
and
like
the
Hobbes?
founders were trying to. Yes, they were trying to tamp it down.
Hobbesian.
They were like, oh no, and then all these bad ideas came in from the German realist school. Oh my gosh, is this high brain time? This is
big brain time on the Wake Up America show.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, utilitarian. That's it. Utilitarian.
Utilitarian. I know that word.
Justin, I hate to be a dick, but now your mic is too hot. Just turn it down just a tad on the mic, just a tad.
You're just too hot, Justin.
Tiny bit. It's too hot. It's too hot. Now count to 3. Yeah.
Is this better? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
yeah,
3.
it's better. But talk loudly. Say 1, 2, 3.
Hello, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you're still clipping a little bit, but it's better. Okay. All right.
It's
good.
my big opera voice.
We're speaking to Justin Peterson. He's my brother. It's the Wake Up America show. God bless you, and can you bless me with something?
Can you bless me with something?
Oh, gosh.
Money-wise. Please.
Can you suck it?
Make sure. What? Don't forget to go to forlibertyshop.com today and get yourself some Doge merch. Man, we've got incredible Doge merch at forlibertyshop.com, as well as our Make America Great Again hats that we're giving away a Dark MAGA hat today. Do you want to win? Yeah?
Yeah, kudos to you and that Doge merch. You were ahead of the game.
Ahead of my time.
Many days ago, we released that merch, and then all of a sudden, Elon starts releasing his logo ideas. And congratulations to you. You actually sent in your resume to be the graphic designer for Doge.
I did. I sent in my designs. I sent in my work. I said, let me run the merch. I will be the meme merch merchant, and they would be lucky to have me, I would say.
Yes. So for all of you out there who do use Twitter and social media, please post out our merch to Elon and Vivek. Try to get their attention with it.
That'd be great, yeah.
So that they can see how awesome it is. Because honestly, I hope Elon's not listening, but I really don't like Elon's graphic that he posted.
They're not so great.
The dog didn't look anything like the real Doge dog.
No, and I've come up with a new kind of style for it that I think is a really fun twist of a mix of certain. I won't use the terms for the art form. Some of them I already know. But at the point, so they can have it over. And here's the thing: since they're all about government efficiency, I will do their merch for them at zero cost to them, meaning for free. I will run their merchandise.
Again, we're feeling charitable.
That's
right?
true. Well, no, nonprofit doesn't mean no profit. That would be comedy bullshit. We'll make money, but we'll just do it in such a way so it doesn't cost them any money. There you go. So if you want any of our Doge merch, it's hot, it's spicy, it's delicious. Go to forliberty.com. We have for a limited time. Hold on real quick. For a limited time, guys, the Doge Space Voyager suitcase is available at the shop. Only for 30 days. You can see the countdown till mission liftoff. All aboard the Doge Space Voyage suitcase. Again, exclusive and for a limited time only. Do you see that it looks expensive? It is expensive. Luggage is expensive. I'm sorry.
Yes.
However, it's Christmas time, and usually people buy like nice Christmas gifts for family. I don't know about you, but if I opened up on Christmas morning this beautiful Doge suitcase, I would consider that to be like an epic, amazing Christmas present. And it's super high quality. It has a lock. It's got internal compartments, which I have to post the pictures of those on there. But you can get that in 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large, and the sizes are there. The Doge Space Voyager suitcase, your next trip to go see Javier Milei in Argentina. You can do it in style with the Doge Space Voyager suitcase. But if that's not in your price range, then you can get like Christmas ornaments, coasters, and all kinds of fun stuff. And Stephanie's shilling the coffee as well. There we go.
We need to make a Doge coffee.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Make yourself more efficient with our Doge coffee.
Watch, instead of hiring us, Elon and Vivek end up suing us.
Oh no, for copyright?
No, I don't know.
Oh no.
Yeah, we'll see.
Then our fail and we'll just never make it.
No, it won't. I overcome any challenge. Yeah, I'll take on any comers. I don't want enemies, but you're defined by the problems in your life, not peace. I don't want peace, only problems. I fear no challenges. My challenges are what define me, The roadblocks are the greater the challenge, the greater the reward, right? The more the success is. So
usually,
yes, any challenges or anything like that are just going to mean that I get a better chance to shine. So there we go. Thank you, Steffi. We are going to give away that hat at the end of the show. Jefferson City's news radio. We are KWOS. Just kidding.
Yeah, somebody in the waiting room of your doctor's appointment the other week, he recognized your voice and he's like, Austin Peterson?
Oh, yeah, he like whispered. He goes, Austin Peterson, almost like he didn't want to, like, if it was wrong, he didn't want to be wrong and have me know.
And then you were like, KWOS.
It's news radio, Jefferson City's news radio. We are KWOS.
Then all the ladies in the waiting room were going crazy. They're like,
oh yes, we remember. Why aren't you on anymore? Because you don't want Rumble or X.
Reject the impulse. It's going to happen in the next 4 years. We will face temptation to say that we want to replace that left-wing nanny state with a right-wing nanny state. The right answer to that question is hell no. The right answer is to dismantle the nanny state. We will face the temptation.
We don't want no nanny.
To say we want to replace the left-wing regulatory state with a right-wing regulatory state. The right answer to that is hell no. We want to dismantle the regulatory state. We will face the temptation to say, hey, we want to staff the bureaucracies with our own people and claim that we want to reform them. No. The right answer is to get in there and shut down the bureaucracy. That's how we save this country.
Justin, sounds like Vivek Ramaswamy has the right idea.
What did he say? I couldn't hear it.
Oh, really? I'm sorry, Justin. I don't know
That's
why
right.
you couldn't hear it.
You
so
looked great, though. I loved your contemplative face. It was
Thank you.
beautiful.
Hold on. Do you hear the sound effects now?
I did. I heard that.
Oh, I hadn't clicked a button. I'm sorry. Vivek Ramaswamy was talking about how we shouldn't staff the bureaucracies with right-wingers and think that we're going to run the things. He says we need to shut it down. We need to afuera. Vivek Ramaswamy was talking about how we don't need to become managers of public life just like the left was. We need to abolish many of these institutions, like what RFK Jr. says he wants to abolish the nutrition part of the FDA, and many of those people are already quitting. They're self-deporting, Justin, just like the illegal immigrants.
It's almost like it's Ron Paul's wet dream.
I know. Oh, Ron Paul has been freaking out about it lately. He's been making posts. Like Ron Paul is starting to be like,
he's like he's like Moses, right? He's like, before I die, I want to enter the tabernacle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe Ron Paul is Moses.
Yes, right. He's like, let my people go. Let my libertarians in.
Yeah, exactly. He's like standing outside the sacred tabernacle, and he's like, I can almost go in. And God's like, no, you can't go in, Moses. Sorry.
No, you will not see. Yeah, Moses was actually condemned to wander to the desert. If Ron Paul dies before Trump gets inaugurated, that's going to be like, he will have been Moses, right?
He would have been Moses.
In the Hebrew Bible, Moses is like, he is not allowed to see the promised land. So he because what did he do? Did he like sleep with somebody's sister or something?
No, it had to do with his previous sins that he'd committed. You know, Moses was like, he was angry, right, in the desert, and he rebelled against God for some things.
Yes.
And I think those were the reasons that God was like, I can't let you in here because you rebelled against me.
Yes.
But he builds the tabernacle. He talks about all the, the stuff that they built and how they built it. And then Moses is like, and then he's like, and you can't go in.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then he made the 10 Commandments.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, because remember Moses hit a rock or something in the desert because he was so frustrated, and because he went like, and then the water came out, I think, and that was God was like not happy with him being so petulant.
But he parted the sea.
Yeah, well, but God blessed him. God blessed him a beautiful wife, Zipporah, and with many children, and Moses is the father. Moses is like the father of Judaism, is he not? I mean, like he kind of is considered.
He's big on Passover.
He's like a founding father, but does Abraham get higher status than Moses in the Hebrew tradition?
I think so.
You think so? Yeah, Father
because
Abraham
was the one that God made the covenant with. God made the covenant with Abraham, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because he was like, look at all these stars, Abraham. Your descendants are going to be as numerous as these stars.
Right. Yeah. Yes. And they were.
Wow.
And one of the tribes of Abraham is the Arab tribes, is it not? The Bedouins? I believe that the Arab tribes are part of the tribe of Abraham. Because when you say Semite, Isn't it? So most people say anti-Semite, but when you say Semite, it's not just Jews. It's Arabs are also Semitic.
Yeah.
And so I think they all are part of the 12 tribes. Naphtali and Issachar and Asher and Dan.
Asher and Dan. Well, yeah, that's
can you name them, Justin? All
Issachar, 12. Simeon,
Reuben,
Naphtali, Asher,
Gad,
Zebulun, Judah.
The next in line, Jacob and sons. Joseph and Benjamin, the last in line.
This is the best trivia question ever.
Yeah.
Who are the 12 tribes of Jacob?
I love all of those names. Those are great children's names.
Well, a lot of children are named by those names. I don't know that there's a lot of Zebulons these days anymore.
That would be so cool.
Issachar.
Zebulon?
Issachar. Can you imagine?
Hi, I'm Issachar.
People are so stupid now they can't even spell Peterson correctly, and you think they're going to spell Zebulon,
Is Issachar Izacar?
No, Issachar is Isha.
Oh.
Char or something like that.
Ishachar.
It's like Ishachar, yeah. It's like Issachar.
Yeah.
Or it's Isachar. Issachar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham. Good morning.
And there was one daughter. Did you know there was one daughter?
Oh, there was?
There was one daughter.
Yes.
No, there was one daughter. It was Dinah. Jacob had one daughter, Dinah.
Dinosaurus.
I love the name Dinah. That's so
and
cute.
she got in trouble. Well, she didn't get in trouble, but she got taken advantage of by this guy.
Oh.
And then the brothers were like, we're going to go to that city. And they made this deal, and they said, hey, we'll make a deal with your people if you all gentlemen will get circumcised. And then all the villagers, all the males in the town or whatever got circumcised. And then the brothers came in and were like, we're going to kill you all. Because while the men were laid up, with their circumcision recovery, the brothers came in and I think they killed them all. And then they got
What in the world? Is some
good times in the Bible.
Stuff.
Good times in the Bible.
From Ron Paul as Moses to the Joseph the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Amazing.
This is the Wake Up America show, and I'm wearing my Amazing Technicolor Looks Like I Lost a Game of Paintball shirt. Jacob and Sons, or like what's David and Sons. The oldest was gay and the middle was questionable. David and Sons.
There were gay people in the Bible?
Yeah, there were. They mentioned homosexuality is mentioned in the Bible.
Really?
There's an illusion that the centurions.
I love how the Jew has no idea about the Bible, right? And we're like telling her about the Jewish traditions, right? It's funny.
Here we go. Let's
talk. We only talk about Moses.
Yes.
I only know about Moses.
I
don't know about Abraham.
Your lips are red like a pomegranate. Moses.
And Baxter.
Yes, Moses.
Moses.
Somebody did a super cut of that movie where it's just it's just her saying Moses, and it's just over and over. Moses.
Yeah.
It's the Wake Up America show. Moses, welcome to the show. I'm Austin Peterson. I bring my family on Friday. Things get weird and we get off topic, and sometimes we don't talk about politics. My wife, Stephanie,
Can I talk about the FDA, though? Can I talk about that?
Yeah. I want you to talk about RFK Jr. and the FDA. Hold on. Let me finish the setup here. Justin Peterson is my brother over there. We are related. We are brothers. Are you guys brothers? No. Yes. All right. Yeah, great movie there. And our little baby Hazel is over there in the corner, thankfully sleeping today. She's beautiful. If we raise at least $100 by the end of the show, which I don't think is going to happen because we haven't really been trying. But if we do, then we will get the bonus baby out. Otherwise, we're just going to let her sleep because honestly, she kind of needs it. So if somebody goes to forlibertyshop.com and buys a suitcase, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, that will do it.
Certainly unlock the baby and more.
Oh, yeah. I'll show you guys my titties. Somebody became a one.
They already saw your titties on the thumbnail.
Oh, that's true. My buff, ripped pecs, right?
Oh, so
Justin was like, Austin, you wish you were ripped like that, bro. It's true.
I said, you wish you had those gains.
You don't know what I see in the bedroom. Come on now.
It is not. I mean,
let's thank God I don't.
One listener became a monthly supporter over at forlibertynetwork.com. Thank you.
They want the hat.
They want the hat. We are going to give away the hat today. by the end of the show. So if you're not a monthly supporter, please become one by the end of the show. That would be a good way to help us grow, help us to support the For Liberty Network. We'd love to have your support by becoming a monthly pledger. You can pledge pretty much any amount, $5 all the way to $100,000 a month. Let's do it. I'm pretty sure that's what Andy donates. And it's about $100,000 a month, at least in equivalent. Thank you, Andy Opperman.
Andy, you're an angel.
I feel like Karl Marx, because Marx, like, he had a funder who was like the guy who helped him to like get all of his works done. But like the anti-Karl Marx, you know what I'm saying? Like you got like people who like help your liberty projects instead of your communist shit.
Yeah.
So we appreciate people like Andy Opperman and others who make enormous contributions, people like Quest Fanning and others, and people who give their time and their blood and sweat equity. You know, I give sweat equity. Stephanie gives sweat equity to make this show happen. My brother Justin gets his butt up early, and he is a busy man, and he gives us an hour of his time, which is a lot of time to ask for a busy professional, especially for somebody like him who's really gotten his act together with his business lately with AI. And so we need to say thank you to Justin, because this is time is money. And it's valuable, and we're grateful that he's so generous with it. So say thank you to Justin.
Thank you, Justin.
And everybody say thank you to Justin. Click the like button and support what he's up to as well. Justin, you want to talk about health and human services. You want to talk about the FDA, the HHS. I'm just going to throw this on your lap.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I was going to bring up the point of, I don't know, remember in elementary school, they taught us about the food pyramid? Mm-hmm. Remember how like at the base of the food pyramid was all carbohydrates. In other words, it was like you had to have 6 to 8 servings of bread a day. And all of that was funded by the ag, big ag, right? Big agriculture to get us eating more grains. Well, what do you think happened as a result of us eating all of those grains and all of those carbohydrates? We all got fat because that's how people gain weight, is through carbohydrates. And turns out the government was wrong. Right? We've known about what they used to call banting. You can look it up. Banting, B-A-N-T-I-N-G. It goes back to, that was the dude's name that figured it out. He was like, man, when I eat less potatoes, I don't gain so much weight. So he actually made that correlation to be like, that was my British voice. But he made that correlation that, he connected the dots of like carbohydrates being linked to higher fat intake. And here you have the FDA telling us all, oh, no, eat more carbs, eat more carbs. Not only does it cause you to gain weight, it's also inflammation. Like your internal organs don't work as well. Your mood is not so great. It is like a drug. So, there's a history there of bad advice, right? That was paid for, not by health officials, but by landed lobbyists who are forcing the government to tell us what to eat.
Does Justin think RFK Jr. is hot?
Yeah, he's a total dad.
Oh,
wait, he's a what?
Oh,
he's a
he
total
called him
daddy.
a dad?
He's a total dad.
No, he's more of a zaddy. That's what we call him nowadays. Is zaddy?
Oh shit!
Z-A-D-D-Y.
Call me zaddy. Okay, hold on here, Justin.
Zaddy.
You help us out.
Oh,
here.
a Zoomer daddy?
Is Zoomer dad? What's a zaddy?
No, I think that's just the name for it. I don't know where it comes from. It's just zaddy.
Yaddy.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Justin?
I don't know. I'm not down with the trends anymore. I'm more like the Amish. I'm just like, what happens? What's going on? I'm missing everything. I don't know what's happening.
He's an old gay.
I'm Amish. I'm like, get my horse, get my carriage, leave me alone. The only thing about him that makes me crazy, obviously as a voice teacher, is his voice. I'm just like, every time I hear him talk, I'm like, bro.
Do you think you could fix that, Justin?
I don't think so. I think he's got spasmodic dysphonia. That's the medical term for it, where the vocal cords spasm.
Didn't our cousin have that?
Yeah, Phil has that. Yeah. No, but it's just the muscles of the vocal cords don't fire properly. So it's it's literally a muscle spasm in the actual vocal folds themselves that causes, and I think he has adductive spasmodic dysphonia. There's one called abductive, where the vocal cords come apart like that, which is a little, that's rarer. So most people have adductive spasmodic dysphonia. So the tightness in the throat, that's all from spasmodic dysphonia.
Yeah.
So,
where else? What other shows are you going to hear that on this morning, by the way? Anywhere?
Yeah.
Is anyone else going to give you that?
I think I have a job you can do in the government, Justin. You could be the vocal coach of the government.
So that we don't have to listen to RFK,
Yeah, you could train Trump how to speak better, more clearly, say "Make America Great Again."
Yeah. But Justin, what do you say? What do you say about some of like RFK's critics critics, though, in terms of like, the links of vaccines to autism and like some of the other things that he's claims that he's
so
made.
It's obviously a mare's nest here. And my personal think is this. When we grew up as kids, we didn't have near the number of vaccinations that kids have today. Like, I think that's the argument that I've seen RFK make. And I'm not like deeply versed on this, but I would say that what he is arguing against is just the sheer number of vaccinations that are going on. And is there a profit motive behind that? Right? Yeah. Is there a profit motive to get kids vaccinated, or is it a health motive or a profit motive? And that's the thing that we want to figure out.
It's such a difficult conversation to have, because you want people to be motivated by profit. And when it comes to the healthcare industry, you want doctors to make a lot of money. They should be rewarded for their work. And the higher the reward, the better doctors you tend to get. I mean, here in the United States, we have the most difficult, one of the more painful, and one of the most challenging healthcare systems in all of the developed world. However, we also have some of the best medical care in the world. So the problem, as I see it, is kind of like the health insurance industry, which is in bed with government, that creates this sort of like this Frankenstein's monster. I remember when you and I were children, I remember who my dentist's name, Dr. Remember our dentist's name? His was
Trotter.
Like Trotter. See, there you go. Dr. Trotter. We knew our dentist's name. He knew who we were. We lived in the community with the health professionals. If we had a doctor, our mother knew them. And if we didn't like them, we just went to another doctor across town. It was not please, Mr. Health Insurance, can I go to this doctor and all this kind of stuff. It's like, we have not improved the access to healthcare here in the United States, because I think a pure market system is not going to achieve perfect results. It is not going to achieve results for absolutely everybody. There will always be some system. There's no system. Utopia is literally no place. So some people are going to get better care. What we want is to have more people to have access to better, higher quality care.
Yes.
And I think the best way to do that is to operate just like we're looking at how we want the Department of Education to operate, meaning no Department of Education, and then every state sets their own policies, and then we have competition, and then it'll all figure out. Some people will like California's super socialized free heroin to 5-year-olds. Some people will like Oklahoma, where you can go to a surgery center and pay cash and get a whole operation for $5,000 or something like that. Right. But we have to have that experimentation, because the leftists, the communists, they want one size fits all solutions to everything. There should only be one car company. There should only be one newspaper. There should only be one doctor in town, right? No. Like Bernie Sanders, there's too many types of deodorant. No, fuck you, Bernie Sanders. There should be lots and lots of options.
Exactly.
They don't understand how economics works.
Because sorry.
Go ahead, Stephanie.
I can speak to insurance being in bed with government, because I actually got a letter saying that our insurance company wanted to send us a $50 gift card from Amazon if Hazel gets vaccinated. So they are giving financial incentives if your baby gets their vaccines. So
they
it's
were
right
doing
there.
the same thing with donuts and COVID. Remember, they'd be like, "Come in and get your free donut," and people were like, "I like donuts."
Well, I'm very food motivated, so it would work on me if they're like, "Oh, get some cookies and juice." I'm all about it.
Yep.
And when I used to work at the hospital system as well, they used to want all of the staff to be vaccinated for the flu. And if they didn't reach a certain percentage of staff that are vaccinated for the flu, then I think they would lose Medicare funding. So it was all about money. So you got to get the vaccines to get the money into the hospital.
Oh, and I'll tell you another thing. PharmDs, would go around because I used to work at a continuing medical education company in Secaucus, New Jersey. Secaucus.
What a name.
Secaucus. I know, right? And there is these pharmaceutical reps would go around to doctors and actually ask them about, are you giving out this drug? Are you giving patients this drug? Which would basically destroy the doctor's autonomy of being able to say, well, this drug isn't right for this patient, or this isn't, they were literally pushing these drugs like a product on these doctors to say, you must prescribe this, you must prescribe this. And they would give them all kinds of gifts up to a certain point, because there's only so much money I guess you can give without being illegal stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, gilding the lily and greasing the palm the whole way, you know. And it was just like, wow, this is some shady behind the scenes stuff that's going on in the medical industry. This is really, and are you really the benefit of this? I don't think so, because look at our health stats across the country. Doctors, and I agree with this, doctors should be motivated to get their patients well. In certain countries, there are motivational incentives for doctors to actually keep their patients healthy, rather than the inverse, which is to keep everybody sick.
Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who could face a tough confirmation battle, we'll see about that, would take over a department with an annual budget that tops $1.7 trillion, more than 80,000 employees, 13 operating divisions, including the Centers for Disease Control, the National Institutes of Health, and the FDA. Most of its spending goes to Medicare and Medicaid. The department funds health care for millions of Americans, including the elderly and disabled, decides which drugs are safe and effective, investigates foodborne illnesses, prepares for pandemics, funnels tens of billions of dollars to scientific research, and much more. Wow. Kennedy has pledged to advise against fluoride in drinking water. That would put him at odds with public health officials. He also said he's asked for more data on vaccine safety to make public. That's fine with me. Though he told NBC last week he would not take away vaccines. I believe him.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm glad at that.
Yeah. They're lying. Listen, I may not agree with him on some of his vaccine evaluations, but I'm willing to change my mind. Here's the difference between me and other people on these things is that I am willing to change my mind. If there is a causal link that can be proven that shows that vaccines cause autism, great.
Yes.
And I'll get every vaccine there is so I can become retarded like fucking Elon Musk is retarded, okay? Give me the vaccine. Because honestly, you know, they say libertarianism is, you know, libertarians are autistic and, you know, that libertarians cause autism. So therefore, vaccines cause libertarianism.
There you go.
So hit the like button. The show is coming down to its final part, and we do have lots of things to do and discuss. Before we go, I want to make sure that we cover absolutely everything. Justin, we talked about Robert F. Kennedy Jr., we talked about the healthcare system, we talked about the changes that are coming, we talked about the Department of Government Efficiency and Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk and their relationship. We didn't talk about Javier Milei, but that will happen on other shows. We talked about Justine Bateman. We talked about the death of woke. You think there are any other big topics that you really want to crush out while in our final 4 to 5 minutes? I mean, have we solved all of world problems here? I mean, how about this? I'll give you a little clip from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and I'll let you react. I'll let you react to this clip, Justin. Take a look.
Which podcasts are you listening to? Which accounts are you subscribing to? I'm interested, like genuinely. Let me know which ones specifically, which accounts, which podcasts, etc.
She's asking that. Which podcast accounts do you like? She's asking herself, why were there so many people who voted for Donald Trump and me? They're asking the question. There are some people, not everybody's doubling down the Nazi white nationalist thing. Some Americans are actually asking the right questions now, Justin, and that really is probably a very healthy sign.
I'm tentatively hopeful about that, but then also the other part of me that's black-pilled says she just wants names on a list.
Yeah, yeah. True.
I mean? That's my dark place.
But the fact that she took the pronouns out of her bio makes me think she's exploring a little bit.
She's exploring her body and
her identity. She is.
Well, I mean, she's obviously younger, so she does probably have more of a pulse of what's going on culturally, you know, in the mainstream culture, and she's seeing people talking. And, you know, I don't know if you saw Ezra Klein, the guy who founded Vox. Did you see? He was in an interview,
no.
And he was talking about, or he was giving a podcast or something, and he was talking about New York and seeing really what was going on. And he was basically telling his fellow liberals to shut the F up about this, you know, because he's like, I'm going out and I'm seeing in New York City what's going on. So, you know, the thing is, it's like with the left, the communistic belief system is not a belief system that's based in objective reality. The difference between our two philosophies of life, and here it is in a nutshell, you either believe in objective reality and truth, or you do not. And this is the divide that we're living in, right? I'd much rather push my political beliefs because utopia, well, that's subjective reality. I want to live in objective reality as the founders intended, because they came out of the Scottish Enlightenment realism. It's like you can trust your senses. Thomas Paine, common sense, right? I'm coming out of that tradition. That's where I'm coming from. I want reality, even Austin, if the reality pisses me off. Even if the truth pisses me off,
the truth
I still
will
want to know.
Yes, the truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. And people like myself have learned the lesson, because Justin, I've been a classical liberal. I've been active for a long time. I've pissed a lot of people off. I can say this, that for my own survival, I have learned an important lesson, and that is that if you're going to tell people the truth, you'd better make them laugh, or else they'll kill you. Yeah. So
what I'm wondering,
I try and be funny.
I'm really wondering if kids who are transgender, if that number is going to decrease over the next 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is again, with that whole issue is I don't care what you do, but leave kids alone. And I think there are a lot of people out here that believe that. It's like, do whatever you want to do. Here's the other thing too. I heard somebody, I listen to everybody. This is my fault because I like to listen to lots of different viewpoints. I saw an interview last night with Buck Angel, who I
It's morning again in America. Today, more men and women will go to work than ever before in our country's history. With interest rates at about half the record highs of 1980, nearly 2,000 families today will buy new homes, more than at any time in the past 4 years. This afternoon, 6,500 young men and women will be married. And with inflation at less than half of what it was just 4 years ago, they can look forward with confidence to
I think the next person who runs for president needs to run an ad like that. It'll help them win.
There we go. I agree. It helped Reagan win his re-election. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Wake Up America show. We're glad and thankful for all of our friends. It's time for us to do a little giveaway while we're still online. It's time for us to gift the gift. Gift the gift, I pray you.
I'm one of those models who shows off.
Yes, you're our sweet little Vanna White. Stephanie, the winner of the gift giveaway is our old buddy, our old friend, Doug Clementine.
Hi. I will package this up with my own hands.
Doug, here's what we need for you to do.
I'll spray it with perfume.
We need you to send us a text message, Clementine. Let us know that you guys, let us know that you're out there, guys. Let us know that we're back, because I know we dropped, but I think you guys should be able to see us. Clementine, you are the winner of the Dark MAGA hat. Send me a text message, 573-319-1586. You are a monthly subscriber. You are a supporter. You are beautiful. You are smart.
Can they see us?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was going to check to see if they can see us.
They can see us. I'm watching it. Congrats, Doug.
They can see me. Yes, there I am.
Congrats, Doug. Clementine, you are the winner. Send me a text message, name, address, phone number, so I can put a tracking in there for you as well. So
your vaccine record,
vaccine cards, yes, all of that. So Thanks for watching. I know Daddy P. Peterson was watching a little bit earlier. He was texting us about the 10 Commandments.
Oh.
Appreciate you guys. Quest Fanning, Luke Sacker, Grizz Cheese, Mongoose87, Will Run Riot, Andy Opperman, Clementine, Porkchop159, Dad Bod Baboon, T Mill 2022. She loves our community of intelligence.
She got her earrings.
Did you get your earrings, T Mill 22? By the way, you won the earrings.
She did.
She got them. Okay, let us know. Entropy Nomad, Sign of Jonah. And pretty much everybody else. I tried to get everybody there. We love you guys. Thanks so much for supporting the Wake Up America show. Please do exit through the gift shop at 4libertyshop.com. The number 4libertyshop.com. Get yourself it's Christmas time. It's time to buy some presents. Or if you're a Jew, then it's Hanukkah time. So 8 crazy nights. Get some presents.
We do have a Jewish shirt on the shop site.
We do.
It has Hanukkah Gelt and it says Gold Standard.
There you go. So get yourself your Jewish shirts over at 4libertyshop.com. It's time. Here's the thing. Christmas presents from Walmart, anybody can get. If you show up to your friend's house, the cousin, and you've all been terrified of your liberal aunt, and you were dreading the holidays, and now you get to walk into the holidays this year oh, whoa, and the liberal aunt will be like, and then your cousin who's MAGA like you guys can be like, yeah, and you give them one of our mugs from 4libertyshop.com. Then you kind of look at each other across the room and stuff like that when he opens up the gift and he's like, yeah, Doge. You can only get a lot of these products. Almost 95% of our products are exclusive and you cannot get anywhere else. We do have some that you can get other places, but very few.
Mm-hmm.
So go to 4libertyshop.com, stock up, get your Christmas gifts today. 4libertyshirt.com, 4libertyshop.com.
For Liberty. We should actually own that domain just in case.
For Liberty Shirts?
For libertyshirts.com.
There you go, 4libertysshirts.com. We're going to buy it as soon as the show is over. Don't you rush me. Beat me to GoDaddy.com. We'll see you guys on Monday. Steffi?
Be free.
We love you guys. We'll see you on Monday on the Wake Up America show on the 4 Liberty Network. Bye, guys.
If there wasn't going to be somebody who was a fiery champion of liberty, somebody who would get out there and who would be aggressive, and if they wouldn't do it with more fire or passion than I had, then I would go and I would fight this battle for us. I've fought for the principles that we all share. Parties tend to be secondary to me. We're here because we believe in the principles of liberty. I am not a perfect messenger, but I think I'm a damn good one. This is a replica of our first president's flintlock pistol. You have my full support, my respect, and my gun.
I think that the heart of my philosophy is much more libertarianism than well, that's the fashionable word these days, I guess. A conservative is no longer just that. He's a libertarian and always has been. Yet any time you and I question the schemes of the do-gooders, we're denounced as being against their humanitarian goals. They say we're always against things, we're never for anything. What is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation. Well, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government. Get off my back, get out of my pocket, and let me have more control of my own destiny.
Happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors, what would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? You can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
Do you hate the deep state? Do you reject the Antichrist in all his ways? Do you believe that aliens controlled LBJ to assassinate John F. Kennedy? Did you know that the shot can put chemicals in you that will make you more sensitive to 5G? Do you love America? Do you want more freedom? Do you like smoking hot red-headed libertarians? Then the AP for Liberty shop is for you! Check out all the awesome new merch and have a happy new year! Fight the deep state, reject the Antichrist. Visit AP for Liberty shop and get your patriotic merchandise now, or the deep state wins.